Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while. If you're new here, please hit that like button and that subscribe button and leave me a comment. Today I'm going to be making this beautiful aesthetic candle that I first saw on Etsy. Let's get into it. So I have been very stressed out. A lot of you may know, and if you're new, you may not know, I am in law school and it is a lot of studying, a lot of time being put into studying and retreating from social life. So I was thinking I need something relaxing. So I decided, maybe I should get a candle making kit and make some candles, do some aromatherapy and things like that. And so I bought this candle making kit on Amazon. I believe it was about $40 for the entire kit. It came with pretty much everything you will need to make your candle. Some of them come with a little hot plate, but I already had a hot plate at home, so I did not get that kit. I just got the kit that came with the cup to melt the soy candle wax in. So this kit came with various types of labels. So you can choose from strips, small rectangular ones, circular ones. I thought that was pretty cute. I think you could probably make these candles and give them away as gifts to friends and family. So if you aren't making it for yourself like I am, you can make it for friends. In this bag, they had some little cubes of coloring wax or candle wax dye. I didn't use any of these because I didn't really want to have a colored candle. But if you do want to make yourself like a rainbow candle or something in layers, it came with multiple colors. It comes with this thermometer. It also came with these dropper devices. Think if you end up doing color, you could probably make faces or shapes or what would have you. And it came with these tools, which included the wax wick and the wick holders. And then it came with a lot of these containers. So these are little flowers that comes with the set. I have lavender, I believe those were lilies, and then I have small dried roses. And then the other things are gonna be the actual scents, which are the oils that you would pour into the liquid wax. So we have lavender. I definitely want to have lavender because I feel like that's the more soothing of the all the oils to me, in my opinion. You have cinnamon. Cinnamon, I want to mix with other oils to see what I get. I have the rose. I'm sorry, this camera didn't focus on those words. And then we have here jasmine. I don't know what jasmine smells like. I didn't even know that was like a scent, which is interesting. We have vanilla. Okay, we have sandalwood. And then the last one is apple. That's cute. So we could probably combine the apple and cinnamon to make a nice fragrance there. And then it comes with this little pot, which is where you would melt your wax in. Again, I have a hot plate at home, so that's going to be what I use. But this kit does come with a wax warmer plate thing. But again, I didn't get that one because I already had one at home. And then the remaining things in the box are just additional jars. These ones are, I believe, glass with wooden toppers. And then these are the bags of wax. So you do get quite a bit of them. I believe there were like 6 bags in the whole thing. All right, guys, I pulled out my hot plate from the dusty crevice of my cupboard, and we're gonna start off with this bag of wax. Putting the wax, I guess this is a measuring cup maybe, onto that hot plate. I'm just gonna pour the wax flakes inside. It is soy, which before I bought this kit, they said soy is the best wax to use for optimal fragrance adhesion. Now, I'm not a candle maker, I'm not a candle enthusiast. I like burning candles for aromatherapy to have that ambiance when reading, studying, and things like that when I'm relaxing as well. So, I don't know my stuff, but when I Googled it, when I looked into this before buying this kit, a lot of places was saying soy wax is the best wax. So take with that as you must, and we'll just keep going. So I hadn't, after opening the bag of wax, figured out what fragrance I really wanted yet. So I'm probably gonna just start off doing something like monotoned, like, either cinnamon or rose or the jasmine or the lavender, just so I have like one still fragrance. I'm not gonna do too much. I bought candles before that had multiple fragrances in it, and it gave me a headache. So I just don't want to experiment like that off the bat, just so I can have like a one good yielding candle. Okay, so while we continue to let the wax melt, I want to show you guys the oils that came in the kit again, because I feel like you guys didn't get a good view of the, I think it's 7 oils that they did give me in that kit. So we have sandalwood. I love sandalwood because it's obviously gives you that woody, foresty flavor or fragrance or scent. We have the apple. The apple I feel is gonna go really, really good with cinnamon. It's a classic combo when baking. We have the rose. I've never smelt rose fragrance before. Like, even I've had, roses before, smelt roses before, but even sometimes when I smell roses, I feel like I don't quite get the smell, if that makes sense. I feel like a lot of people know what I'm talking about, but I'm not able to like articulate it properly. Then we have the cinnamon, as mentioned before. So, sandalwood and apple are probably gonna be a combo that I'm gonna go with. I said earlier, like, I might not experiment with combos, but I feel like the apple and cinnamon, if you are aware, apple and cinnamon are classic baking combos. I'm sure you would think, okay, those two will work perfectly. Let's try them. So I'm gonna try them. Along the way, I did make a few mistakes, but this is my first time ever making candles at home. So the mistakes, I will point them out when I do get to that. But let's just watch what I'm doing now. So this wooden candle container I bought on Amazon as well. I did see this on Etsy. I saw more aesthetically pleasing containers on Etsy, but I went with this one because it was a little bit cheaper. I saw it on Amazon and it was a kit of four for not that much money. So I said, let me go with this, keep it inexpensive, and still keep it, cute, keep it in the aesthetic realm. So these are the wax wick that the kit came with. And it also came with some sticky adhesive that you would put on the bottom. So I'm like pointing out where I'm gonna stick 3 wax sticks for this candle. I'm just gonna take this and do that off camera and then be right back. Okay, so now I have my 3 wax where I want it to be. We're gonna just go over to our wax for a little bit and start adding in our fragrances or oils, whatever you want to call them. So unfortunately, I didn't show you which fragrances I went with, but I did sandalwood and cinnamon. I thought those would be pretty interesting. Sandalwood is sandalwood, and cinnamon is kind of like has woody notes to it, so I figured they would complement each other. Now, when I looked online, it did say to do about 1 milliliter per ounce of wax. This kit came with, each bag was about 5 ounces of wax, and so I had to do 5 milliliters of the fragrances, and so I did a little bit more because I really wanted it to be powerful. So I went with about several drops. And also the dropper that came with the kit did not have measuring to it, so that was also like not great. It didn't have like lines to show you where the measuring is per se. So I just went with my gut with that one. And it worked out. So I'm just gonna start and we're gonna pour, and I'll point you out to my first mistake. Mistake number 1. I totally should have waited for the candle wax to cool down a little bit. Not cool down to the point that it is solidifying already, but cool down to the point that it did not make my wax wicks start collapsing under the heat. So at this point, you see my little wicks falling down, and I was trying to figure out what can I do here. So I told myself, you know what, just fill it, and then we're gonna find the bag that it came with and utilize those wax wick stabilizers. Because of the candle container I'm using, I had to get myself some chopsticks. My grandma orders a lot of Asian food, so I got a bunch of these chopsticks from her when I visited her, because she knows I also order a lot of Asian foods like sushi. And so she had a bunch of these, so I said, you know what, let me grab some chopsticks and see if they can help me stabilize this a little bit. I'm gonna record my entire mistake here so that it helps you to not make the same mistake should you buy one of these kits. And I think it's super important to show people, like, not everything on, YouTube or TV for that matter, is perfection. I could have edited this out and just showed all the good stuff, but I won't. I want you to see the mistakes so you don't make these same mistakes. So here I am delicately trying to get these wicks into the stabilizer that came with the kit. I'm gonna try to keep those up as much as I can so that they are set nicely when the candle starts drying. Okay, so here we are about an hour and a half later, where the candle has began to solidify a little bit. Now, the reason why I'm coming in here is because I want to add some of those flowers to add a little bit more fragrance and aroma to my candle when it burns. Now the wicks aren't stabilized yet. There's still liquid around them, like the liquid soy wax around them that makes them unstable. As you can see, it's like gelatinous. And so we're gonna still need those chopsticks and stabilizers when we go back to finish the setting. So, this is the candles that I saw on Etsy when I first decided that I kind of want to get some aromatherapy going. And of course, I love crafting, so it made sense for me to try to get some stuff. So, I'm gonna go in with the rose petals that came with the set and kind of add those in like a very aesthetic way, kind of like how you saw on the Etsy post. I did look around my cabinet and found other dried fruits. I found fig, I found oranges, I found this is mallow flower. I found star anise and stuff like that. So I figured let me go in and here's the lemon. Let me go in and add some of these stuff that I do have. These were from other projects where I was, pretending to be a mixologist and wanted to make some drinks. So I bought these like dried fruits and stuff for that purpose. So I'm going in with the lemon. I had to push it in a little bit, but don't do that if it threatens the integrity of your candle. I might have let this dry a little bit too much, my candle around the edges. And if you put it in when it's still liquid, it sinks to the bottom. So you want it to dry to an extent where it's still kind of gelatinous like it is by the candle wicks, but enough so that you could press your fruits and roses and things like that in and it stays. So watch me just kind of complete this aesthetic and I'll come back. All right, so now I'm back. This is another few hours after putting on my flowers. I did nip the wax wicks a little bit, or the candle wicks a little bit. The wax was still warm when I put in the star anise, so you could see around it some of the color from the star anise was pulled into the color. I'm not like, upset about that. I really like how this turned out overall. I think this is super cute and I can't wait to light it and read a book next to it. Now, when I was researching, it does say to let these puppies sit for about 2 weeks to let the fragrance linger in it a little bit, let the wax set some more, let everything, marinate. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to light it as soon as it sets a little bit more, just so we can see what that looks like. All right, so this is what the candle looks like lit. There's some little imperfections with the wax on the outside, but I am in love with this aesthetic. It's super cute. Do not forget to thumbs this video up, give me a shout in the comments, and absolutely subscribe to see more. If you have any recommendations, if there's any videos you'd like to see as far as products, sewing things. I'm not the best at sewing, but I will always try my best to get into a sewing project, or any more sensual ideas you guys want to see from me. Please absolutely drop them in the comment section, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.